What's going on, guys? Sam from Tuned Auto, and today we're going to be talking about the battery in the F80 series chassis, why it's lithium, why you have to use a lithium battery, how to maintain common faults, as well as how to remove the battery itself. Now, if you're in a pinch and you need to remove the battery, skip to the end of the video. I'll put a little tick where the removal process actually starts. But I would suggest watching this beginning section. I'm going to kind of go over some important information, especially for new owners who may not be familiar with the battery that came in their new M3 or M4. So the battery inside the F80 series chassis is a lithium battery. It is 30 pounds lighter than the previous generation M3. And now I'm sure you're saying, well, can I put a regular battery in it? Because if you are in the situation where you need to replace the battery in your F80, you may have already realized that this battery is not cheap. The range I've seen is between $1,600 to $1,800. Plus, if you're doing coating at the dealership, it's another $150 for coating. So it's definitely not cheap. And a lot of people will say, all right, well, I'll just get a regular battery then. I don't need to get this lithium battery. But that's where the problem lies. So the car itself, why you can't put a regular AGM or lead acid battery is because the current used to charge the lithium battery is higher than a traditional battery. So that's the first reason why you can't do that. And the second is just because of all of the electrical components built in these modern sports cars. They require a constant clean stream of electricity to be able to power all the components reliably. And I'll put a little blurb from the actual official BMW service manual on their take of why the lithium battery is needed in these cars. So there's a couple reasons why you shouldn't let the battery die fully. So a lithium battery degrades the overall lifespan if it gets to absolute zero voltage. It dies completely. So there's a number of systems within the battery to help maintain and prevent that. So one, there is a disconnect chip inside the battery. So if the battery has, for some reason, there's a parasitic draw and the voltage gets down to a certain point, it will actually turn off the terminals in the battery. So if you were to read it with a traditional voltage meter, you would read 0 volts. And again, the chip is cutting off those terminals so that hopefully if there's any parasitic draw, it won't affect the battery anymore. And I think it's under 3 volts is when it cuts off. So it gives the battery a little bit of extra lifespan in hopes that you will be able to charge it in that time. If it does disconnect, you will have to wake up the chip in order to charge it. So what I would recommend getting is a CTEK charger. The BMW official charger is just a rebranded CTEK, so you might as well get the CTEK. I'll put a link in the description. Buy from that, please. It helps the channel out, and it's much appreciated. So on the CTEK charger, there is a reset button that is designed to wake up that chip and allow you to charge the battery. And if that doesn't work, other forum members have seen positive results when trying to jump the car from the hood. They see that sometimes helps. So I try either of those two, and hopefully you can wake up your battery from that dead state. So the goal is to prevent getting to that point. So with the CTEK charger, if your car is going to sit for a long period of time, hook up the charger to it, keep it going. In my situation, where I live in a cold weather climate, cold kills lithium batteries. And I don't have a garage. So what I do was I put down the back seats, take the battery out, close the trunk, close all the doors, and charge the battery indoors. With the seats down, when you go to reinstall the battery, you can open the doors, crawl through the trunk, and pull the latch release so that you can open the trunk and reinstall the battery. So that's an alternative in the event where you need to maintain it, but you don't have a garage to do it in. If I'm going on vacation, the CTEK charger comes with this really awesome connector that you can leave in the hood, and I'll show a little video of that. So if you have a garage or you only drive your M3, M4 on the weekdays, I would recommend getting and hooking up the charger so that you can just easily connect it and you don't have to worry about it. And it's easy to disconnect and reconnect whenever at your convenience. First thing you want to do is undo the little latch to pull out the battery cover. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the negative and positive terminals. And once those are both out of the way, we can remove this bracket that's on top of the battery. And again, this is two 10mm bolts. With that out of the way, we need to remove the breather tube on the side of the battery. This probably isn't the best way, but I just used my socket and I kind of just hit it a little bit and it finally came off. Next, there is a bracket on the side of the battery which helps clamp it down. I'll show you what this looks like out of the car, but this is a 13mm bolt, so you'll need an extension to reach down in there to be able to loosen that up so you can actually pull the battery out. And with that done, the last piece is just removing this little connector from the side of the battery. And once you have that removed and the bracket off the side, you can just grab these little handles and the battery will pull right out of the vehicle.